Let us battle. Puyo Puyo and Tetris. Together.
That's not even a thing!
I am not dreaming, right? Was that in English? It's been almost 13 years, but SEGA is finally taking another chance on bringing a mainline Puyo game to the West. And I gotta say, I could not be more proud at this very moment. So what's the big deal? You're probably familiar with that word Tetris, but unless you're a hardcore SEGA fan, you might not be too familiar with that other part, Puyo Puyo. But in this iteration, you're able to play both Puyo Puyo and Tetris against each other at the same time. Actually, there's a lot more to it than just that. But before we get on with this review, I think it's important to clarify what Puyo Puyo is and how it's evolved throughout the years. So without further ado, it's Puyo Puyo time! Puyo Puyo is a match 4 of 1 color puzzle game. Upon matching 4 colors, or Puyo, you send garbage to your opponent. However, if you position the Puyo so that they'll connect as they fall, you will create a chain. The bigger the chain you make, the more garbage you will send, but if the board fills up to the X at the top, you lose. This might seem familiar. If you've played Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or Kirby's Avalanche, then you've actually played this before. But what you might not know is that those games are the localization of the original Puyo Puyo. But the funny thing is, Puyo Puyo has evolved since its original incarnation that you're familiar with. Starting with their first sequel, Puyo Puyo Tsu, a few changes were made to balance up the game. For starters, 4 colors is the standard instead of 5. You can rotate pieces in between Puyo. If you manage to clear out your board, you'll get an all-clear bonus. This is a great tool for swiftly defeating your opponent, as you'll send some quick heavy damage on the next set of Puyo you clear. Finally, and the most important change, is offsetting or neutralizing. This allows you to not only counter your opponent through observation, but also allows you to overpower their chain if yours is stronger. If you've ever played Puyo Pop on the Game Boy Advance, then these mechanics should not be news to you. So that covers Puyo Puyo, but let's be real, you've probably played Tetris before, right? I mean, your own mother has probably played Tetris. But for those hardcore Tetris fans that might want to know, this game uses the super rotation system. For those that don't understand what that means, think of it this way. If you played Tetris DS, party, or friends on Facebook, you'll be right at home. Have fun with your T-spins. So with that out of the way, let's start talking about the game. On the home menu, there's Adventure, Solo and Multiplayer Arcade, Options and Data, Online, and Lessons. In Adventure, you'll be tasked with solo challenges or trying to defeat your opponent with objectives, like getting a good time or a lot of points. Depending on how you do, you'll receive a rank out of 3 stars. With 100 missions featuring an all-star cast of 24 unique playable characters, you're in for a real treat. But seriously, can we talk about the story real quick? It's so cleverly written and it's full of one-liners that just had me cracking up my whole playthrough. The voice cast really nails their deliveries. They're an absolute treat. The novelty of the interaction between these characters is absolutely strong.
You expect me to answer to Creeper like it's no big deal? The time has come for me to clear my reputation by assaulting this young girl!
The other modes include Solo Arcade, which lets you battle against the machine featuring up to 3 CPU opponents at once. While Multiplayer Arcade lets you fight up to 4 of your real-life friends locally or over local wireless by linking up multiple Switch consoles. Both of these modes feature a variety of rule sets, such as Versus, which is standard Puyo Puyo and Tetris, and naturally you can also play Puyo vs Tetris. This applies for all other subsequent modes. Fusion, where you play both Puyo Puyo and Tetris in the same field. As long as you keep clearing Puyo and lines in Tetris, you'll be racking up some serious damage. Seriously, S2, calm down. Swap, which forces the board to change between Puyo Puyo and Tetris after a predetermined time. Those that have mastered both playstyles will find this to be their ultimate test of skill. Party, which is a score attack mode where you try to get the highest score possible while also making use of items to hinder your opponent. Big Bang, where you solve pre-made puzzles as quickly as possible in an allotted time limit. Once time is up, your accumulated garbage will be released, and whoever cleared the most will survive. This mode is a great tutorial for learning piece rotation in Tetris. There's also solo challenge modes such as Endless Puyo Puyo or Ultra, which is where you try to clear the most lines in 3 minutes.
These make great tools for brushing up on your skills.
Throughout the game, you'll also earn points which you can spend at the shop to unlock skins for Puyo Puyo and Tetris, along with alternate voices. By clearing story mode, you'll also unlock more of these in addition to backgrounds and music. You can also customize the rules of a match. Don't like hard drop? Take it off. Don't like holding Tetris pieces? Do away with it. Want to only have to match 3 Puyo? Done.
Want to have to match 6 Puyo? Sure.
Play with 3 colors? Can do. 5? You're a maniac, but sure, it's all up to you. And once you're feeling confident in yourself, you can go online and fight people across the world. Demonstrate your strength and make yourself known on the leaderboards. You can prove you're the best worldwide or even just in your own state. It's really awesome. Of course, you can also make friendly rooms to play with up to 4 of your friends online. You can also submit your own replays for everyone to look at or watch other people's replays to learn from the best. Speaking of learning, if this game is looking a little intimidating, don't worry. There's a lesson mode which will brush you up on the basic mechanics of both Puyo Puyo and Tetris, along with fusion mode.
There's also comprehensive Puyo Puyo and Tetris guides created by our very own Stupid on SEGA America's YouTube channel, which I shall link in the description.
Both of these puzzle games are absolutely addicting, so I don't see why you wouldn't be playing this a lot with your friends. For $30–40, you're really getting your money's worth. For hardcore fans of the series, I'm happy to tell you that SEGA has done a wonderful job with the localization. They faithfully captured the spirit of the original dub. I tip my hat to you, SEGA. You really blew it out of the water.
For those that are on the fence about the voice direction, you really need to hear the cast stretch their legs in story mode. They're a real trip for sure.
I tried to reason with her, but she spooked me. I ran off kicking and screaming. I walked off at an average pace entirely of my own accord.
I also want you to consider this. Puyo Puyo Tetris is the perfect game for Nintendo Switch. It offers you the ability to play the game anywhere. That means seamless multiplayer action no matter where you are with no limitations. Bring it to dinner, bring it to a friend's house, bring it to a party, or a gaming convention. I don't know, just do something like this. Hello, sir. Would you like to play Puyo Puyo Tetris with me?
Well, I understood a third of that, but okay. Shoop, shoop.
Let us do battle!
Oh, wow. Hey, I love Bean Machine.
Only you guys can help grow this community. SEGA is really giving it their all with this game, and as a die-hard fan of the series, it just warms my heart to see that. If you end up loving this game as much as I do, tell your friends, family, coworkers. This is a really great game. You have a lot to do and a lot of options you can identify with. For newcomers, if you're still on the fence, then I highly recommend you download the demo on the Nintendo eShop. Included is Versus, Swap, and Lesson mode. Give it a shot, and maybe you'll also understand why we are having such a fever over Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give us a like and follow us on social media. Special thanks to SEGA for providing Puyo Nexus with a review copy. You're the best! I love you!